Lavender Town Syndrome overrated? True. Lavender Town Syndrome is fake? False. It started about, 2 months ago? Yeah, 2 months ago, about halfway through October. I was on YouTube, searching for random videos of who knows what, when one of the people I subscribed to uploaded a video. They were uploading a video that had scary video game music every day of the month until Halloween, and so far they'd been uploading some pretty good and very unnerving music I had never heard before. So I was a little shocked to see they had uploaded Pokemon music. I clicked on the video anyways. It was the old first version of the Lavender Town theme. When I listened to the theme, I remembered hearing it before. When I played through the game, it honestly didn't sound scary to me at all. I actually even liked hearing it. But then I looked at the comments on the video. Some users were talking about how Japanese kids had committed suicide on themselves after listening to this song. Interested, I searched through the comments posted on the video, but nothing had shown up that helped me understand anything. So I pulled out my best friend, Google. I searched Lavender Town kids suicides or something related, and found quite a bit of results. So I clicked the results second from the top, just like I always do. There was a long article about some kids who had killed themselves after getting over-addicted to the song. Apparently, there was this part in the song that sounded off and screwed with your head, but if you were too old, you couldn't hear it. After getting through reading that, I started to read more about the subject. After searching and reading many stories surrounding Lavender Town, I came up with a conclusion. This is all fake. It's all a phony. Seeing that the site I was currently on had more scary stories of other subjects, and since I love creepy stuff, I clicked on one about the ruins of Alf. The page was taking forever to load, though. I cursed at my computer, which of course did nothing to speed it up. Internet Explorer cannot display the web page. My blood ran cold as I read those words. My internet had stopped working. Immediately I began to freak out. I was extremely paranoid about everything. I clicked on Diagnose Connection Problems and did all of the options offered to me, but nothing worked. I repeatedly did the same commands over and over, but still nothing worked. I sat down defeated and shivered. What if those kids really did die? I thought to myself. I refreshed the webpage again, not believing that it would work, but still trying anyways. I gasped as I saw the webpage load onto the story about the Lavender Town Syndrome. Oh my god, it's real, I whispered to myself as I stared dumbly at the screen. This is what got me hooked onto what is known as creepypasta. I had never heard of it before, but I quickly grew to liking it, and as I read more and more of the stories, eventually I concluded that they were all fake, and felt stupid that I had thought some of them were real. But every time I looked at a story relating to the child's suicides from Lavender Town, shivers went down my spine. One day I wanted to see myself if that theme would make me feel like killing myself. I felt a bit nervous as I loaded the video containing the song, but then I slapped myself. I'd heard that song many times before, and it hadn't affected me at all, so why wouldn't it now? Sure enough, I listened through the whole song and it didn't affect me in any way, save for making me want to listen to it more. I thought that maybe it took more than one play through the song to drive one mad, so I listened to the theme numerous times, again and again, while I browsed the internet. By the time I finished listening to the song 50 times, nothing had happened. How could I have been so stupid to think the suicides are real? All that crap is fake. With that, I shut my computer down and went to bed, seeing as it was very late. I felt uneasy getting ready for bed though, and by the time I crawled into my sheets, I'd left my TV on and its volume on to where I could hear it clearly. I kept it turned on as I was too afraid to turn it off and be plunged into silent darkness. I awoke the next morning feeling very horrified from a dream I had had, but I couldn't remember what happened in it. I searched all through my mind trying to remember what happened, but in the end, I decided it would probably be better not to know. The rest of my day went normal, but when I got back from school, things got weird again. I sat down at my computer and turned it on. There was nothing strange yet, but when I opened Internet Explorer, my heart skipped a beat. It immediately opened to the Lavender Town theme song. I started panicking, but then I remembered that I had saved my open tabs last night before turning my computer off, so whatever I had been on when I exited off the internet would open up without me having to go to it. I was immensely relieved, but still a little paranoid. I searched around the internet, checked my messages on all my accounts on every website I went to, when I finally had nothing left to do. I was utterly bored. Then the idea of listening to the Lavender Town theme slowly creeped into my mind. I really didn't want to, but something kept urging me to listen to it. Unwillingly, I opened the video that contained the song and gave it a listen. This time, I got a headache from hearing the tune. I don't know why. Last night I had listened to it 50 times in a row and nothing happened, but now hearing it once was hurting my head. I stopped listening and went to other websites, but the headache remained. I went to bed early that night. My head was in too much pain for me to stay up much longer. The next morning, I awoke with the same fear I had yesterday, except I was even more disturbed than before. I still can remember the dream though, but the horror lingered on with me throughout the day. I couldn't think straight during my classes, and my friends took notice. They asked me if anything was wrong, but I just said that I didn't get enough sleep. When I got home, I got back on the computer. When I opened the internet, the Lavender Town video still popped up. I was sure I didn't save my tabs last night, but I just forced myself to believe that I did. I wasn't going to believe that this was all real. I exited off the video and checked my other accounts. But an urging in the back of my mind to listen to the song slowly started to come back. I finally gave in and listened once more. I got the headache once more, but I just kept listening to the song again and again. It was just so addictive. Too addictive. After a while, I started to fall into a bit of a trance, and I was a little annoyed when my dream state was broken and my mom called and said it was time for me to go to bed. Then I regained control of my mind and checked the clock. Dear God! I've been listening to that song for an hour! I quickly exited off the internet and went to bed, the headache more painful than yesterday. This time, I woke up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. I couldn't think straight. My thoughts were flying out of reach before I could grab them. Then I noticed that my TV was off. I swore that I had it on before I went to bed. I sat still as a stone in my bed for a solid minute when I made a mad dash for the TV remote. I turned the TV on, turned the volume way up, and jumped back in bed. It was hard for me to get to sleep, but eventually I did. The next morning, I surprisingly wasn't awoken to find myself scared. Instead, my mom was doing all she could to get my butt out of bed. I eventually got up feeling very tired. I hadn't gotten enough sleep, but I had to go to school. I did even worse in my classes than the previous day. The day seemed to drag on until the bell finally rang and I was able to go home. The first and only thing on my mind was to get back in bed. But I stopped in my tracks as I passed the computer. All thoughts cleared from my head and instead were replaced with one objective. I sat down in front of the computer and pulled up the Lavender Town video. This time, though, I pulled out a set of headphones. Listening to the song wasn't the same without those. It seemed as if it had only been a few moments until my mom came and ripped the headphones out of my head. Get your butt in bed, young lady. Look at the time. I looked at the clock. It was 10. I had started listening to the song at 4. I should have been shocked at how long I'd been in a trance, but I didn't care. "Give me them back!" I lashed out at my mom and yanked the headphones from her hands. She gasped and slapped me in the face. "Don't you yell at me! Now get your butt in bed or I will ground you for the next month!" She took the headphones and waited for me to go to my room. I stared at my hands, my mouth wide open. Why did I do that? I thought to myself. I never did anything like that. What was wrong with me? I got off the computer and went to bed, quickly falling asleep, as I was completely worn out. The next morning, I woke to find my heart pounding faster than it had ever been. My bed was drenched with sweat. Fear clutched at my soul, but I didn't know from what. No matter what, I could never remember the dream. I did even worse at school that day than any of the previous, but not from being sleep deprived. I was restless. I was impatiently waiting for something, but I didn't know what. When school was over and I was back in my abode, I avoided the computer. I was going to risk listening to that song again. But after just a few hours, I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to listen to that song again, just one more time. I needed to. If I didn't listen to it again, I would kill myself. I quickly raced to the computer. It was already turned on. I quickly opened the video which had the haunted tune, plugged the headphones in, and listened. The headache came back, but with such force that I could hardly bear the pain. The song kept me going, though. My soul was craving to listen to it. Eventually, I began to feel sick, but I didn't care. If the song didn't play, I would die. The tune somehow kept my spirit alive. As it was a Friday night, I was allowed to stay up as late as I wanted to, so deep into the night, I played the song. At about 2 a.m., my trance was broken. I had fallen out of my chair and onto the floor. Weariness had gotten the better of me. During the process, I broke my headphones. Immediately, I was wide awake. I picked up the broken headphones and stared blankly at them. I desperately tried to fix them. I tried glue, tape, but nothing worked. I couldn't listen to the song without headphones. It wasn't the same, but I needed the tune. Life was meaningless without it. There was only one option left. Suicide. I searched everywhere for something that would end my miserable existence, but to no avail. I searched all over the house, but found nothing. Until I went into the bathroom. I found a knife hidden deep in one of the many cluttered cabinets. It was only supposed to be used for emergencies. However, this was an emergency. I grabbed the knife by the handle and pointed the tip towards my throat. This was the only way. I couldn't live without that song. I braced myself for the stab. But my gaze got caught in the mirror. I saw myself standing, bruised and cut, already from my desperate attempts at finding something to kill myself with. I saw the knife inches away from my throat. I saw my life, how it was hanging by a thread. I dropped the knife, which clattered as soon as it hit the floor. I walked over to the mirror and just stared at myself. After several minutes, I finally spoke. The Lavender Town Syndrome is real. Just as soon as it had started, it was gone. Whatever force that had been messing with me left. I was finally free. I picked up the knife off the floor and put it back in the cabinet. I cleaned myself off and prayed to God my mom wouldn't notice the bruises and scratches on me. I went to bed and for the first time in days, I slept peacefully. From then on, I never listened to the original Lavender Town theme again, and I started believing nearly every scary story I read, afraid the same thing might happen to me again if I didn't. I now go out of my way to avoid listening to the dreaded tune at all costs. Now I'm extremely paranoid about everything. But I don't care. Just as long as I never listen to that stupid song again, then I'll be fine. You think this is all fake? Maybe. You think that not believing in the suicides won't affect you at all? You're about to find out.